Be cautious. Your neighbor is maintaining their eyes on your private home due to the fact. My expensive infant, in case you agree with in angels, begin this video and watch it completely. Angel isn't always whispering this time. He is maintaining it loudly. With the thunder of heaven behind his voice, this isn't always a subtle caution. This isn't a message hidden in parables or desires. That is direct, sharp, immediate, and simple. His words are urgent, and they're meant to your ears, your soul, your spirit. Now, not the next day. Not next week. Proper now. The trumpet of revelation has blown, and your status in the actual second when heaven exposes what changed into intended to live hidden. Be careful. Your neighbor is preserving their eyes on your private home due to the fact they've claimed your promise, your protection, your peace, your prosperity, without your permission. You don't have any idea how close risk has gotten to your step. You thought it become only a casual look. Just a person being curious. Just a simple twist of fate that they always seem to be around whilst positive things move incorrect. However, God is displaying you the fact. This isn't regular statement. This is religious surveillance. There may be a person, very close to you, who is not looking you out of concern, however out of secret competition. Out of envy. Out of entitlement. And most dangerously, out of spiritual darkness. They have got satisfied themselves that what you have got, they have to personal. That your benefits, your prefer, your breakthroughs, your atmosphere, it belongs to them. And this perception did not come from nowhere. It became seated by using the enemy. Whispered to them. Nurtured by using demonic voices that informed them, why now not you? You deserve their life. You should be the one in that residence. That peace need to be yours. And so, they watched. They studied. They pretended to be kind, to be supportive, to be impartial. However, all along, their non-secular energy was speaking betrayal. It changed into vibrating with jealousy, with choice, with a sick yearning to peer you lose what you in no way stole, however earned via suffering, through prayer, through conflict. This isn't a neighbor in area simplest. That is a neighbor in hide. The type that sits at the border of your lifestyles, pretending to be innocent while plotting spiritual robbery. They have got already claimed it. Do you remember the fact that within the spirit realm, they have got already written your call off your own? In their personal residence of their mind, they have got already replaced you. They stroll by your gate and silently imagine it as theirs. They peer at your lighting fixtures, your home windows, your laughter, your peace, and that they rehearse ownership. And it's deeper than simply property. It's no longer simplest your house they may be seeking to claim. It's your stability, your strength, your destiny, your identification. They want what they did now not plant. They need to reap what they in no way sowed. They need the crown of a struggle they in no way fought. But here's the divine reality. They can in no way have it. Not until you surrender it in silence. now not except you ignore this warning. No longer until you preserve treating it as accident. The motive God is talking now with such thunder is because you are status at the threshold of both victory or vulnerability. And your choice will decide everything. The spiritual conflict round you has been excessive, hasn't it? The ordinary goals, the unexpected anxiety, the surprising breakdowns of factors that have been solid, the shifting moods, the random complications, the moments you felt watched, even while you were by myself. The ones have been no longer random. They had been warnings. They have been signs out of your guardian angels trying to provide you with a warning. Archangel Michael himself has been published close to your home extra than as soon as within the beyond few days, sword unsheathed, protect lifted, eyes scanning every vibration round you. Due to the fact there was an attempted invasion, a non-secular trespassing. Your property has been spiritually targeted, now not with guns or knives, but with intention, with choice, with ritual. A person close to you has dabbled in non-secular practices they don't completely apprehend. They've whispered your name in locations of darkness. They've spoken your success with bitterness. And that they have attempted to spiritually claim your atmosphere. It is why you've been feeling off. That's why your relaxation has been disturbed. That's why you have all of a sudden lost motivation or peace in locations that used to recharge you. It is not simply strain. It's a spiritual imbalance. A person is pulling at your blessings with invisible threads. But right here's the revelation. They cannot prevail except you cooperate. Your attention is your armor. Your discernment is your sword. Your prayer is your guard. God says, the instant you renounce this fact, you take again every inch they are trying to say. Your recognition breaks the chains. Your obedience summons the angels. Your understanding resets the stability. Do not be afraid. This isn't a message of worry. It is a message of dominion. The purpose you are being warned is due to the fact you're selected, no longer cursed. You're powerful, not powerless. But God desires your participation. You have to claim that your space is sealed. You should speak aloud that your home is protected in divine light. You must anoint your doors, your rooms, your heart, and say, no one can steal what God has assigned to me. Due to the fact right here is what they do not know. Your own home is not just bricks and partitions. It's far a sanctuary. It is a portal. It's far a throne room of heaven in the world. On every occasion you prayed in that space, on every occasion you wept and referred to as on the call of the Lord inside those walls, you built a temple. And now, they're seeking to trespass on holy floor. It really is why heaven is reacting. That's why this message has reached you. Due to the fact something sacred is below siege. And God isn't letting it cross without a divine confrontation. In the next 48 hours, watch intently. You'll word something alternate. Their behavior. Their words. Their presence. You may even hear something stated that confirms what your spirit already knew. Do not brush aside it. Do not say, maybe I'm overthinking. You aren't. That is prophecy. That is exposure. That is divine timing. You are being ready in real time to shield what's already yours. They have claimed your pleasure, however it might not work. They've claimed your function, but it'll backfire. They have claimed your property, however they forgot one thing. God lives there. And no demon, no jealous neighbor, no resentful spirit can evict the presence of the maximum excessive. Every attempt will fail. Every whisper towards you may return to its sender. Every ritual will crumble. Because light constantly exposes darkness. And now that you see virtually, the enemy is already defeated. Take motion. Do not simply study. Respond. Pray with fire. Walk through your area with non-secular authority. Talk the word aloud. Call at the name of Jesus with boldness. You aren't a sufferer. You are a gatekeeper. A royal priesthood. A non-secular warrior. And your private home is your altar. This neighbor, this hidden rival, will soon face consequences now not from you, however from heaven. Their plots might be reversed. Their intentions will be found out. Their envy will devour them unless they repent. And also you? You'll upward thrust. Stronger. Wiser. Sharper. You may see just how powerful your presence is whilst you stand in complete non-secular cognizance. In case you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can provide a remarkable thanks up to $100. You're being covered proper now, whilst you read those words. The environment round you is shifting. Angels are strengthening your borders. Divine mild is sealing your own home. The presence of God is thickening round your walls. You may sense warmth. You may feel chills. That's heaven operating in actual time. It's no longer a feeling. It is a manifestation. Be nevertheless, however, no longer silent. Be calm, however, no longer passive. This is your moment of divine statement. Say it aloud. I take lower back what's mine. No one can thieve my peace, my motive, my promise. And as you communicate it, heaven movements. Let this be a reminder which you are visible, you are recognized, and you are surrounded with the aid of divine intelligence that in no way sleeps. The enemy can plot, however God always warns. The thief can attempt, but the proprietor, God himself, defends what belongs to him. And he says in reality, with divine finality, be cautious. Your neighbor is watching, however I am watching them. You are secure in me. Be careful. The hour you're in is not normal. It is not just another cycle of the sun and moon. That is the hour in which the entirety hidden begins to shake and display its shadow under the mild of fact. That is a message for you. You're being watched, not just by means of heaven, but by eyes that do not smile on your victory, that do not clap when your door is open, and that do not celebrate when your life breathes with pleasure. A person near. Someone you know nothing of. someone who lingers near a neighbor. They're watching your house due to the fact they have claimed your peace as their prophecy, your blessing as their burden, your future as their personal fable. There's someone who walks by using your property and does now not say, "God bless this family." Instead, they whisper in secret, "Why not me? Why no longer my call written in that area?" They've located their dreams to your benefits, and of their jealousy, they have all started to declare with their tongue what their arms don't have any proper to the touch. But let me inform you something, simply due to the fact someone watches does no longer suggest they manage. Simply because someone claims does no longer mean they are crowned. And simply due to the fact a person thinks approximately stealing your mile does now not mean they could live to tell the tale interior it. This message is for you. Heaven has visibled the shift in eyes that once smiled and now burned with silent envy. The Lord has heard the whispers spoken into the night time. A person has stated, "That need to be mine." But God isn't mocked. What He flowers is covered. And your own home, sure, your private home, is surrounded via greater angels than you know. There are stuff you don't know but God is starting to expose them. Things about your neighborhood. Things about the spirit that walks near your door. No longer each hay is real. No longer every wave of the hand is honest. There may be someone you have allowed to get near who has now allowed bitterness to make a home in their heart, and their bitterness isn't just towards their personal life, but in opposition to what you carry. Your pleasure. Your quiet energy. Your provision. Your want. You have not noticed it yet. No longer fully. But the purpose you've been feeling strange, the reason sleep escapes you, the cause you keep sensing an invisible pull, is due to the fact your spirit already is aware of. There is an eye fixed looking your gate, and it is not looking in love. This individual has commenced to tell others something that was by no means theirs to mention. They have spoken your call in approaches that stain, now not honor. In their eyes, your advantages had been now not earned. They believe they had been stolen, as if what God placed to your lifestyles turned into taken from their fingers. However, how can a person declare what was in no way promised to them? And how can a person name your peace unfair while they do not want to go through your pain? Yes, this is the message that you did not know you needed to listen, however your soul has already begun to weep in recognition of the reality. The enemy has crept near, no longer through a stranger, but through acquainted face. A person who is aware of when your lighting turn off. A person who watches while you leave, someone who knows a way to smile on your face and yet roll their eyes the instant your lower back turns. Your neighbor. Your literal neighbor. The only who continues glancing. The only who started out conversations they in no way used to begin. The one who unexpectedly is continually round. They are being utilized by something darker than themselves. They're not the basis, but they have got grow to be an inclined vessel. And they have claimed your property and their imagination, your name and their jealousy, and your joy in their confusion. However, right here is the element, even now, with all their bitterness, they don't know which you are being stored. Watched. Guarded. Their curses had been reversed before they even reached your roof. Their mutterings were scattered like dirt in the presence of divine wind. You don't want to stay in fear. You want to stay in awareness. You do not want to run. You want to wish. You don't want to confront them. You need to build a higher altar. Because someone for your neighborhood believes your silence is weak point, however they don't know your silence is sanctuary. You don't stroll in gossip. You walk in grace. You don't respond to bitterness. You rest in blessing. This is why they can't figure you out. You hold shining, however you're now not loud. You preserve rising, but you're now not smug. You keep prospering, but you stay humble. And that is what has confused them. They cannot apprehend how you have got what they desire when they accept as true what they have carried out extra than you. But what they do not understand is which you had been through battles you in no way broadcasted. You have walked through storms nobody noticed. You cried into your pillow and wakened to feed the arena with a grin. You sowed in tears. This is why you are reaping in peace. A person is announcing your house is theirs. Someone has walked around your gate and stated, one day this could be mine. Now not out of honor, however out of satisfaction. They have got made secret pacts in their thoughts. However allow it be recognized within the spiritual realm, they haven't any prison right. They haven't any divine inheritance in what God gave to you. There is no switch coming to them. They're no longer entitled to what they did not speedy for, cry for, serve for, or look forward to them. You've got walked the valley. They watched your dawn and assumed it came easy. They forgot that oil handiest flows after crushing. God needs you to be careful, not afraid. Be alert, now not nerve-wracking. You want to begin praying round your private home. Stressful the thresholds. Speak over the walls. Claim peace over the roof. Say this, God, no eye fashioned in opposition to me shall succeed. No curse spoken in bitterness shall take root. No neighbor claiming what is no longer thus shall plant lies in my soil. Due to the fact someone has begun to say matters that sound like curses wrapped in casual conversation. But there may be nothing casual approximately the spirit they are sporting. This isn't always a message of fear. That is a message of freedom. You have not been forgotten via God. In reality, the cause you're reading this now is due to the fact heaven has been watching your own home greater than anyone else ever should. Whilst they appearance with envy, heaven watches with compassion. Whilst they are attempting to understand your peace, heaven smiles because you are surrounded with the aid of angels. Someone is going to mention something soon. Something so one can make you prevent and wonder, wait, how did they realize that? It is going to be a sign. A confirmation. A second in which you may don't forget this message. They'll say something that reveals they have been watching greater than they need to. And that is while you'll recognize. Don't panic. Do not retaliate. Just pray. Hold your own home within the presence of God. Be cautious who you allow interior. Bear in mind of what you speak near the window. Don't proportion your plans loudly. Keep matters sacred until they're sealed. That is a sacred time for you. God is drawing traces inside the sand. Traces of protection. Strains of obstacles. Traces that say, "This belongs to my child. Nobody can take what I have written of their name." There may be a divine seal to your lifestyles. And the extra the enemy attempts to move in through others, the extra heaven will push them lower back. You are being preserved, even while you experience forced. You are being stored, even whilst you experience watched. The Lord Himself has located a non-secular flame on your step and has been inside the sand. And nothing can walk in until you open the door. So don't open the door to worry. Don't open the door to doubt. Don't open the door to terrible wandering. In case you feel tired currently, it is now not just physical. It is spiritual exhaustion from the silent struggle. But you aren't being defeated. You are enduring, and there may be a difference. The weary shall mount up with wings. And God is set to present you new energy. Energy in order to confuse your neighbor. Strength with a purpose to make your enemies say, "How are they nonetheless standing?" Because what is interior you is more potent than what surrounds you. Even the grass near your home has been envied. Even your pets were looked at with atypical eyes. Even your peace, your laughter, your parking spot, your porch, your kids' laughter. A person has taken notice of it all. But God will not let them trespass the bloodline. The religious boundary, the angelic hedge, the line that asserts, "This residence belongs to an infant of God." Begin blessing your private home each morning and night time. Now not out of fear, but out of understanding. Say this: I welcome peace. I reject jealousy. I welcome abundance. I reject accusation. I welcome joy. I reject spiritual spying. This house is easy. This home is covered. This land is promised. This gate is guarded. This gate is guarded. Due to the fact your voice consists of more authority than you recognize. And what you assert inside the spirit, heaven echoes in energy. You aren't simply a person's neighbor. You are a chosen vessel. And sometimes human beings see that earlier than you see it in yourself. Now and again they experience your mild earlier than you recognize your sparkling. Every now and then they odor your oil earlier than you even realize you are anointed. And their reaction on your blessing isn't always your burden to hold. However, your focus is your mission. From nowadays, begin to stroll around your own home with divine intention. Speak as you stroll. Pray as you contact every doorknob. Declare as you skip every corner. Say, "This is holy ground. Permit no evil eye rest right here. Allow no spirit of jealousy linger. Allow no watcher succeed. Allow every eye looking in delight shrink back. Let every uninvited spirit be removed. And watch, sure, watch how the environment changes. Watch how matters smash. Watch how the tension lifts. due to the fact you are driving out what changed into in no way invited. Soon, the person who's watching you may feel uncovered. They will either shift and repent, or be removed and changed. However, now not will they be able to stay hidden. The spirit running via them has been identified. And once God famous, he usually offers. Do not be greatly surprised when they forestall coming with the aid of. Don't be amazed when they distance themselves. A few removals are divine mercy. Allow them to go. This is it, slow to stroll in authority. You are not a sufferer. You are successful. Your home has been marked by way of favor. Your call has been written in heaven's e-book. Or even if someone round you tries to say what is yours, they may choke on their very own pride earlier than they ever pass the brink. You're guarded. You are loved. You are watched, but greater importantly, you are loved. You are kept. Someone near you has already stated it, that House Nita had been mine. However,